Hello everyone, this is Marc again for you with another reaction video, and today we are going to look at one of my all-time favorite videos on YouTube. It's one of the most important people within the watch business, Jean-Claude Biver, his watch collection on Hodinkee. Let's go! Thanks also to all new subscribers. We cracked the 81% of all viewers are non-subscribers. We are now at 80.5%. So please let us work on this. It would make me very happy if you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button and activate the bell. This way you don't miss any content. And now, let's go into the video.
Today we're here outside Montreux, Switzerland to talk to a man who's more than just a watch collector.
This video is approximately 4 years old, but nevertheless it's very important for me that you get to know Jean-Claude Biver. He's a really important person within the watch industry, one of the most important people who is currently living, and that's why I want to see that video again. Last time I saw it probably 2 years ago.
Over his 40-year career in the industry, he served as the head of multiple brands as well as selling a few others. He's the current head of timepieces for Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy.
Right now he's retired, but before he worked for Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy, Hublot, Zenith, yeah.
His name is Jean-Claude Biver, and today we're talking watches. So Jean-Claude, I can't thank you enough for being here with us today to show us some of your personal watches from your personal collection. But before we get into that, I wanted to talk a little bit about your career. So your first job in the watch industry was with
Audemars Piguet.
And what were you doing for AP?
First job directly at Audemars Piguet, I think in the 70s.
So I had the privilege for 1 year to do nothing. And to be paid half. The boss, Mr. Georges Gaulet, he told me, during 1 year you're going to learn what is the watchmaking history. And you're going to learn what is the watchmaking history of AP. And after 1 year, once you know this, then you can start selling. And after 1 year, they gave me the European markets. This I did from 74 to 79.
74 to 79. What a time to be alive. In this time, the Royal Oak was introduced to the market. Imagine what this guy all has seen. Incredible.
By then, was the Royal Oak already a success?
No, not like today. But it was not a bad watch, and we had to push it. We had to invest in it because it was not obvious to everybody that a luxury watch would be in steel.
Yeah.
But we could feel that there is potential. And because there was potential, the young team of AP was saying, come on, we have to invest in the Royal Oak.
So before we get into your own collection, this kind of brings up the question we kind of have to ask. Many people say that the Big Bang looks just like a Royal Oak offshore.
100% looks like. So what?
What a great comment, yeah. During these times nowadays, we always talk about in fashion, he copied this from this, and yeah.
It's not my fault.
Whose fault is it?
It was based on the idea to take the porthole as the inspiration for the watch case. It was delivered and was only available with a bracelet from 1972 to 2000. And it was mechanical, automatic, fantastic yellow cool movement. Now, in 1980, Hublot comes and designs a watch that is inspired by the porthole. Porthole in French means hublot. But how could he design a watch inspired by the porthole that would not look like the Royal Oak? So he said, but in Royal Oak is 8 angles, but the porthole of a boat is round.
It's round. Yeah.
So if I design the porthole round, am I in the same design? Some people said no. Number 2, he said, what else can I have? So they said, if you put these ears here, which are where you open the porthole. The porthole has always 2 things here, and you have to unscrew them and you open. If you design this is something that is different.
Yes.
All right, what else? If you don't put an integrated bracelet, but you put a rubber strap black, it will be different. Okay, What else? If you put a quartz movement, because we're in 1980, the future
1980, yeah.
is quartz, then it's also different. What else? If we are 50% of the price, because it's quartz and not mechanical, it will be different.
I just love to hear the stories from him, and I'm so happy that I can show it also to you. Believe me, this is really one of my all-time favorite videos on YouTube. This guy is the true inspiration in terms of watches, and right now just wait for his watches. His collection is incredible.
With all this, they got the conviction in 1980 that it would be different. And when they came out in 1980, everybody said it's not the same, it's different. So how come that in 2004 this changes? Because of the change of the design? No, I kept the same. Because of what then? Number one, in 2000, Royal Oak with offshore took away the bracelet.
Right.
Yeah.
They put a rubber strap. When you take the bracelet away, the look of the case becomes more obvious and stronger than when you have a bracelet. Number two, when I took over Hublot, I said the size is too small, 38 millimeter. This is not adapted to today. So I blew up the watch to 44. And then I said, we cannot go on with quartz. Hublot was doing in 2004 97% of the production in quartz.
This I didn't know.
I said, we cannot go on like that. So we changed into a mechanical movement. So having suddenly a mechanical movement, having suddenly a larger size of the typical Hublot look, and Royal Oak having in between in 2000 put also rubber
On the offshore?
crocodile on their watch, suddenly people felt that it was looking more similar in 2004 than it was looking similar in 1980.
Yeah.
So when people say it looks similar, I say yes, because it's a similar idea. Both took the porthole as an inspiration for the watch case. Even this one is a little bit an inspiration of the porthole. So we have in fact three watches that
Yes.
are today very, very successful. We have AP with the Royal Oak, we have Patek with the Nautilus, and we have Hublot.
So then why do you think people view the Nautilus and the Royal Oak as kind of friends, and they view the Big Bang and the offshore as combative, as competitors?
They didn't see it as friends in 1976. I was at AP, and I don't think people find it as a friend. And I think many people find it a little bit strange of Patek to suddenly follow AP.
And that's why you bought that watch.
Yeah, that's why I bought the watch, because these people, when they came out with that watch, and I was sitting at AP.
Ah, right, yeah, of course. The AP was released before the Nautilus and had also the same design, of course, yeah.
Believe they were friends, and we didn't believe this was very nice.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
said this is a copy.
Yeah.
Of
Of
course. They have the same father, Gerald Genta, did both, and he was at this place during that time. Imagine, you are at AP, you bring out the first steel sports watch, and then a few years later, Patek says, who did this Royal Oak? Okay, let's take this guy, do me also one. I want the same, just a little bit different.
Royal Oak. So what people said in 1976, they have forgotten in 2004.
Yes,
in
yes, yes,
2004 they said Hublot is the bad boy, like Patek was the bad boy in the other days. And to say that Hublot is the bad boy is fantastic, because it puts Hublot at the same level than the Royal Oak and the Nautilus.
Great perspective, yeah.
And so your time at AP, you were selling not only the Royal Oak, but also the traditional line of complicated watches.
Yes.
And that's why you purchased this watch and that watch.
Yes, I purchased this one because that was my competition, and that was the first watch that I hated from a commercial point of view. Now I love it. And then this one I also bought because it's a grand complication from AP, and we were selling this watch one time a year, or maybe two.
If you see that watch, can you feel the time? They sold this watch back in the day, one per year, one watch. This double split chronograph, mono pusher with minute repeater, perpetual calendar in a pocket watch. What a dream. What a dream to have this. To tell the history about this piece. Man.
In 1976 or 1977, the grand complication of AP
Masterpiece.
was sold to the family Quant, which were the owners, still today, are the owners of BMW. And that was the most expensive and the most exclusive and the most prestigious watch of the AP collection. And I said to myself, one day I want to own that. So
And these are the goals you want to achieve, you know. He started working at AP and he always was chasing this watch. What a great story, huh?
I bought it in an auction.
And can we hear it chime?
Yes, the chime is good. The chime is brilliant.
Clear and loud.
The minutes are fantastic. I know.
Wow.
When I left AP, I went to Omega.
You went to Omega.
In those days, Omega had two collections. The
Omega.
standard collection, as they called it. And I came with the experience of AP. I was in charge of the gold collection. And I stayed at Omega from 1979 till end of 81.
Wow. Okay, 1979, 81, these 2 years. And during that time, the constellation was very strong. Omega constellation.
And in
gold.
1981, I said to my friend Jacques Piguet, Jacques, I know because I saw it at Omega. Omega owns a brand that is the oldest watch brand in the world called Blancpain. And I know because Omega is going under restructurations. They lose money, they are going to be restructured. And I said we should try to buy from these guys the name Blancpain because since 1950,
military watch, huh? Nice.
1989, they are not using this name anymore. And Jacques Piguet finally succeeded end of 81 to buy the name Blancpain for 22,000 Swiss francs. When that was done,
Then,
I left Omega and I started to rethink, redevelop Blancpain in a total other price segment. Blancpain had never been as prestigious.
And what was the first watch you developed at Blancpain?
It was the moon phase.
The moon phase.
You know, in 1982, when everybody was running into quartz, the moon.
this you have to keep in mind. During that time, everyone, the whole industry is going for quartz watches. Everyone said this is the way to go. We need to get into quartz watches. This is the future.
Phase look
And he said,
of the
no,
moon.
I will go the other way.
Months. This indication were a little bit nostalgic. People
Okay.
said, what's that? This looks like an old watch. It was somehow disruptive compared to the quartz watches that Patek, AP, even Rolex tried to make quartz. And we were the first ones to say, since 1735, there has never been a Blancpain in quartz, and there will never be one. That was the headline of our advertisement.
Yeah. And it worked.
In 82, we started in 82. I think we sold 97 watches in 1992. We sold Blancpain for 60 million to Swatchwood.
16 million. He started first year 67 watches and then 16 million. He sold his company back to Swatch. What a success.
So you invested 22,000 and got
Yes.
60 million.
Yes, out of it.
That's a pretty good return.
It's a very good return. If we would have kept the brand, we could have got more.
So this watch here, this is the very first perpetual calendar made by Blancpain.
Yes.
Number 00.
Number 00.
Yeah.
I always have number 00 of Blancpain. Every watch that
I would
was
do
new
the
of
same.
Blancpain, I took number 00 for me. Because number 1 we had to sell to customers. Number 1 cannot be kept by the
Always number 00.
owner.
So what year was this watch?
That was 85.
So you were doing perpetual calendars in 1985 at Blancpain.
Yes. And then end of 88, we had the 6 masterpieces. Ultra
Oh,
Slim, the moon phase calendar, the perpetual calendar, the tourbillon, the split, and the minute repeater. We were the first brand in 1989 to have all the 6 masterpieces, all in the same round case, and all in a case that is 33 millimeter. Can you imagine? Today it would be a lady's watch.
And this is the first minute.
Very small. Blancpain, always kind of very elegant watches, but small in the diameter.
Repeater.
That's the first millimeter, number 00 also.
And so even back then in the 1980s, so AP, Patek, they were not doing complications like this.
In the beginning of the 80s, no. They were doing quartz. They were totally focused on the new technology, what everybody thought in Switzerland would be the future of the Swiss watch industry. They were all wrong. The first one who believed that mechanical would come back was Mr. Hayek Senior.
Yeah.
And he told me. And this is why he bought Blancpain.
Yeah.
So he was visionary. He could see that it was turning. But in the 80s, 90% of the Swiss watch industry was concerned, how can I do better and more quartz?
What kind of mental strength you need to go in a time where everyone wants to go right, you will go left. You know, this is what I mean. Also, of course, with watches, you are always talking about a lot of money. So take this energy and his thoughts, apply it to your life. If you have the idea and if you know which way to go, don't follow everything you see on the streets, okay?
So who was buying a minute repeater in 1986 or 87?
A lot of connoisseurs. One guy lived in Newport Beach. I remember, because in those days we said we can even deliver you the watch. Like the real artisan. And then you buy the watch and then I come
He comes
with the box and I bring the watch to your home.
So if you
And
buy
then I
this
had
watch,
a ceremony, and then I had a lunch with the family, and I gave.
Imagine back in the day, you order a watch and the CEO of the company comes to your home. Huh? This is just a nice signature. These kind of memories linked to the watch on your wrist, and these days is very nice.
him his watch.
So if you buy a minute repeater in 1986, 87, Jean-Claude Biver shows up with the watch.
Not necessarily, but if you want, yes, for sure. That was the kind of service we were giving.
Oh la 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 la! Now we are starting. This is his collection, and the watches you see here is not mainstream, but believe it or not, these are all way, way, way more expensive than everything I showed you before.
So you obviously love all watches.
Yes.
So you've worked at AP, at Omega, at Hublot.
He knows everything.
etc. But if you're a collector, what do you collect?
I have started in this industry with one huge competitor for AP that was called Patek. So Patek was always in my kind of obsession to fight against them. And so when I wanted to build this collection, I said, who do I collect? Shall I collect AP, where I started? Shall I collect any watch? Vacheron, IWC, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or shall I collect the one that I was every morning saying, I'm gonna beat you. So that's the one I said I want to collect. So I went on to collect Patek, which was probably a good decision and a bad one. It was a good one because they are the leaders in the classic traditional watchmaking art. It was a bad one because you need a lot of money to collect a few.
And so you buy Pateks at auction. You go to Christie's.
Yes.
You're a real collector. You go out and find the special pieces.
Yes. And I buy only the highest quality. If I see one lug that has been repolished, or if I see that the dial has been cleaned, I will be reluctant to buy. I want the watches to be just perfect. And so it's very difficult to buy because you find a lot of Pateks, but to find the perfect one, the one that is more difficult.
Very important.
So this is a 3448.
Yes.
And this is not white gold. This is platinum.
Yes. The case was made by Mr. Hagman, who I knew at Blancpain because he was making our minute repeater cases. When I heard that he had made this case as a unique piece, I said, that's a unique piece, plus made by Mr. Hagman, plus in mint condition, I gotta buy it.
And where did you find this?
At Christie's 5 years ago or 6 years ago.
So one of a kind, perpetual calendar, self-winding
Unique
platinum.
piece.
Perpetual calendar.
That's incredible. And then this.
Very
this
important
is even
watch.
more incredible.
Yeah. So this is a new
Great
stainless steel
dial.
Patek. But with
Stainless
a vintage
steel?
chronograph movement.
I
Yes,
forget
I think
totally.
the movement is from 1937.
The movement is from 1937. Now let's see when they built the watch.
Mr. Stern found 16 movements in his stock from the 30s, and he decided to make a new watch.
You know, I've seen a lot of watches doing this. I've never seen one of these, ever.
I met it.
And then this is a unique Celestial
Yes.
that you bought for...
That I bought at the only watch in Monaco. And I said, I'm gonna
Unique piece.
buy this watch. I'm gonna auction this watch. And the price I auction will go for children. So my money goes to kids, and the watch I get goes for my kid.
So this is
My
your
son.
son's watch.
So it's fantastic. It's my son's watch.
His son is now working, I think, for Sotheby's. But I also saw him in a newer video, and this was one of his first watches. What a great way to enter this business. But nice guy. I saw some videos from him. Nice guy.
And Mr. Stern asked me, when he made the certificate, to which name shall I write the certificate? I said to Mr. Pierre Biver.
It's not a bad way to start.
No, it's a good way to start.
And then this is a 1518.
1518 rose gold with rose gold dial.
Yeah.
Phenomenal condition and fantastic color combination. Unique.
Oh,
And it's
man.
just like new.
It's perfect. And then this is a rare, oversized 530
Can you
chronograph.
imagine? Yeah. The oversize is fantastic. That is a watch you can wear
Wow.
today. That's a watch of today. It's also in rose gold. That's the watch I wear. You know, from all the watches we have seen, I wear this one, I wear this one, and I wear the Hagman one.
Nice.
So
Okay.
the next watch here is actually one of my favorite watches
Really?
ever. So this is a 1579 in plat.
1579.
One out of three.
Yeah,
One
And
out of three.
Out of the three, it seems that this one is in the best condition.
yeah. And this is a watch that you...
Check out, please. Check out the lux. What kind of art is this? They have here on the dial the 12 and the 6 o'clock just with the numerals. Chronograph. Hey, man.
Yeah, and this is a watch that you wear all the time. In fact, you wore it at Basel World this
Basel.
year.
Yes. That gave birth to some speculation that we would buy Patek.
But you're not.
You know why I was wearing it at Basel? Because as I was all the time between our boost Hublot and the boost Zenith and the boost Tag, I said the only neutral watch I can go to every boost in Basel is this one. Because
Yeah.
this is neutral.
Yeah.
It's above everything.
Yeah. And next we have a 2499.
This is a must-have.
This one of the collectible watches, 2499. Perpetual calendar chronograph.
Some say it's one of the best watches ever made.
I think so.
Yeah.
I believe that.
And the case is like untouched.
Untouched, 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 untouched.
And this,
is the difficulty, you know, you find watches on the market, maybe not this one is pretty rare to find, but at the end you find watches, you find older watches, but the dial has been restored, they have been polished or something changed, the dial cleaned, then, you know, this is all a problem. And his watches, the condition is just,
looks like a 130, but it's not. This is a Rattrapant.
Yes. It's in the crown.
oh, okay,
This is a dream watch.
Dream watch, a dream color.
never seen
In
before.
fantastic condition. Never touched.
Wow!
And then you have another 1579.
Yes, in rose gold. You see, the conditions are incredible.
And these are the absolute most classic, most elegant watches Patek has made.
Yes.
It's funny to see this, and then you have something, is that 48 millimeters on your wrist?
Yes.
Yes.
Different things for different people.
Of course. You know, it's like you can own a Rolls Royce and a Ferrari. This is not competing with this.
Yeah, at all.
It's so different.
And you think this collection one day will go to your children?
Yes, I hope so.
You have to show that off.
The sound.
It's amazing.
Look, the sound, very loud, clear, minute repeater, Hublot, Big Bang, never had in my hand. And now this is a Patek Philippe pocket watch with animal dial, Lake Geneva.
And then this?
And that's also unique. You have Geneva, capital of enamel,
Yeah.
Geneva, capital of high horologery, and Geneva, home of Patek. And all this in an enamel, ultra slim Patek Philippe watch.
Dual-sided enamel.
Yes, fantastic.
So you collect Patek, you work for Hublot and now the rest of LVMH. Do you hope one day that you'll have collectors similar to you are with Patek for Hublot?
We will have collectors, of course. But similar as Patek, no. I never hope for my brand to be the same as another one. But I know for sure that young people will come and young people will collect, but it will not be the same as Patek.
I'm so thankful for this content. I really enjoyed this video. I hope you do too. Some videos will also follow from Jean-Claude Biver. I will check if there are some new ones available, and until then I would say thank you very much for watching. Maybe I see you guys tomorrow, and until then, bye bye. Let's go! Woo! It would make me very happy if you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell.